Welcome to the Swisspreneur Show, a podcast about startup stories and hands-on learnings from experienced entrepreneurs. My name is Sylvan, and I will be your host. Christian, a very warm welcome to the Swisspreneur Show. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thanks, glad to be here, and thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. You are the co-founder and CEO at Clickahoy, a Swiss marine tech startup located in Zurich. It's funny, that's the first time that I actually hear that term. Sounds very cool. And your company digitizes boats and integrates them on a single platform to offer insights for private owners, but also for professionals around the boat. So I'm curious to learn more about how you actually started this marine tech startup. What motivated you to start your own company?
Yeah, so first of all, Sylvan, also for us, it was the first time that we hear this term marine tech, and it's also our aim to shape this term. I mean, we all know fintech, insurtech, you name it tech, and what we want to do is really marine tech from Switzerland. And our motivation is based basically on something that annoyed me personally as a boat owner. It's the lack of digital access to my boat. Today, almost everything is smart or digital. Our homes, cars, even coffee machines. So why shouldn't my boat be smart as well and give me more control, comfort, and safety? In addition, the interaction with professionals around my boat was mostly, to be honest, a bit cumbersome. And that's what we want to change.
So you already mentioned a bit the problem that you're going into with the own need that you basically serve. But could you tell a bit more about the specific problem that you also solve for boat professionals, for example?
Sure. I mean, you've probably heard about the famous Tesla app that lets you summon your vehicle with the press of a button and shows all about your car 24/7. And nothing comparable exists for boat. Yet many boat owners complain about not knowing the status of their boat and losing time with battery swaps and refueling when they want to go onto the lake instead. Plus, as mentioned, digital interaction with partners around the boat is lacking. What we want to do is to give both private boat owners and professionals around the boat the opportunity to access their boat, their fleet, or their client's boat if desired. On the one hand, it gives boat owners the opportunity to identify problems at an early stage and react immediately. For example, if my boat leaves its anchor position or if critical conditions occur. Our software architecture also enables professionals such as boat rental or sharing companies to monitor their fleet or to make various currently analog processes in the field of maintenance service even more efficient, thus creating an enhanced customer experience.
And I think you also do have a hardware component, right? Something that you actually build or could build into the boat.
Exactly. Besides the software, we have this hardware, the so-called seaborne computer. It's our computer that lets boats give you access through the mentioned software by mobile app. And this installation is not plug and play, but nearly plug and play. The installation, you can do it as a non-professional, and this installation by around 15 to 20 minutes. So it's pretty easy on the one hand, and on the other hand, this gives you then the access to your software.
And to make that happen, you obviously do need a team. So I'm also wondering, what experience does your team bring to the table to actually build a startup around this topic?
Yeah, we are very proud actually to combine a wide range of experience and backgrounds in our team with a strong link to the ETH Zurich, especially in the field of electrical engineering, information technology, and geofencing. But also on the business side, we can count on founding experience and entrepreneurship. For example, it's the same founding team that launched also the first Swiss boat sharing platform in 2016. And this was also the trigger or the initial idea of the team and motivated us to do more in this environment. And I'm firmly convinced that this combination that I mentioned in the beginning and the employees will ultimately be decisive for the success of Clickahoy.
Agree. And can you also talk a bit more about the recent milestones that you achieved?
Yeah, since the launch about 2 months ago, we have seen great demand from private boat owners as well as already committed partners, which has allowed us to double the team with great stuff. As of today, over 40 boats equipped with Clickahoy technology are already cruising the waters. And among the mentioned partners in the beginning are also large shipyards, well-known boat builders and sharing companies. And in this context, we'll soon be able to announce another great collaboration with a new partner in this environment. We've also been able to equip a completely new electric boat fleet with Clickahoy and were thus involved in the manufacturing process, which was very interesting and also a really cool achievement for such a young company, as you can imagine.
Nice. And when looking at your case and also looking at the market, I first wondered, without knowing anything about the market, is the market actually large enough in Switzerland for your solution, your services?
In Switzerland, I would say it's important to understand that it's a case that it's scalable and we have to go abroad quite quickly. So, referring to your question, no, I would say just Switzerland wouldn't be enough, wouldn't be that big. But when we talk about other countries within Europe, but also overseas, it changes immediately.
What would be like a very attractive market to you here in Europe that you would like to tackle?
I would say everything besides the seas. So it's clear that from a Swiss perspective, first of all, I mean, the DACH region is always something to consider quite quick. For a marine tech company, our neighbors like Italy, France are quite interesting. In this context, we do not want to say too clear at this stage where we want to go, because we want to take this opportunity, maybe or hopefully through a partner here in Switzerland, to take the opportunity that is given at a certain moment to take a step abroad. So it's a difficult question, to be honest. It's clear we have to go abroad, but in which country to start, that's up to the opportunities.
Right. So there are several options to choose from, ideally. So let's also look a bit at the market side. How does the competition look like? Do you have any competitors in that area that do something similar or identical to Clickahoy?
Yeah, there are various efforts, I would say, in this sector or within the industry, especially in the US. And the industry is also slowly becoming aware of what needs to be done here. Even so, boating is on average 20 years behind the car industry in terms of technology and progress.
And I know that you mentioned the hardware component to basically stay ahead of the competitor there. Were you also able to patent any parts of your hardware component?
Not yet. I would say that's the most difficult thing, and also when we refer to how we could differentiate ourselves in this area, I would say we are, or I would say one of the most important thing is that we are focused entirely on the software, and the hardware component it's a means to the end. And as we are entirely focused on the software and its architecture, this will allow us also to get a kind of protection and be kind of standalone.
Right, got it. Now, building a startup is usually also means that you have to deal with many challenges. So what was the toughest challenge that you had to overcome with your company so far?
Yeah, the biggest challenge was to demonstrate to the players and investors in the startup environment who are not that strongly involved in boating that it's a real need, that there is a market, and that we are killing a lot of real pain, and that it's only a matter of time until this environment also becomes smart. And that was not that easy in a landlocked country like Switzerland, as you can imagine. But I guess, or I hope at least, that we were able to remove these fears with the realized tractions and successes. And also regarding the differentiation that we talked before, to solve these problems, it's very important to be close to the clients. And that's a very important point that we learned also within this short period, because we are very close to our customer and partners, and we actively involve them in our processes, also in development, and we provide information and talk to them frequently. And that gives us a sense for the market that also allows us to do trials, and not everything is perfect from the beginning, as you can imagine. But on the other hand, it also learned us to understand our customers and make them happy.
And you're currently also fundraising. Can you talk a bit more about how much money you are looking for and what the funds will actually be used for?
Yeah, the current financing round amounts to 400k Swiss francs, and this investment allows us to increase the number of connected pods tenfold by onboarding another around 40 partners within 18 months after the investment. And in addition to establishing the team and further developing the software, and we will also be prepared then for the first step abroad and scale up.
Great. I like that. That's like a very clear game plan and milestone that you want to achieve there with the fundraising round. And I think that's a very good story to come up with. So let's also talk a bit more about you, the person behind Clickahoy. I prepared 3 rapid fire questions for you just to know a bit more about you as a person. The first one is, what was your summer job as a teenager?
Yeah, I was a rowing coach in a beginner's course of my rowing club, and not that I was a particularly successful rower, but it was obviously enough for that, and I hope that my former rowing students still like the sport.
Anything that would have been off the water would have surprised me now, I guess.
Maybe.
What are you most proud of in your life?
I would say that whenever I really want to achieve something, I manage to do so. Whenever I set my mind to do something, I always somehow achieved it. And I also think that this is important, to be passionate about a goal when building up a company and to pursue a goal with full passion, because especially in the beginning, you get a lot of rejections.
And what's a surprising fact that people don't know about you?
Yeah, also it's on the lake. In my 20s, I drove the fastest boat on the lake of Zurich for 3 years. It was a so-called Challenger racing boat with 2 screws and a Corvette engine. And in total, I owned 6 motorboats until now. And I was 16 years old when I had my first one, and it was an old 8 HP outboard boat. But, and that's important, I was always been able to sell each of these boats more expensively than I brought them. And I think that also gave me the sense of the potential of the market at the early stage.
Yeah, so a real entrepreneur at heart, even when it comes to boats.
Exactly.
Great. Hey, Christian, thank you so much for your time and for the insights. We wish you all the best and lots of success with Clickahoy and the ongoing fundraising round. Thank you for taking the time for this quick chat today.
Thank you again for giving us the opportunity to present Clickahoy.
We would like to thank our sponsor, SBB Startup. The Swiss Railways launched their own startup program, so no matter if you're already an established company or just have an idea, they are eager to hear from you if you think that your company or your idea is a good fit to the Swiss Railways. You can get in touch with them at sbbstartup.com, and they will support you with internal connections, with coaching, and also are very interested in launching a pilot project with you. So if you think that your product or your idea or your company have the potential to collaborate with the Swiss Railways, get in touch with them at sbbstartup.com. Thank you very much for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed the content, we would be thrilled to receive your rating on Apple Podcasts. That way you not only support Swisspreneur, but also help other entrepreneurs discovering the show and finding more valuable information on how to run their businesses. Next week, we will already be back with an all-new episode of the Swisspreneur Show, so we hope to see you again then for a new episode.